Hey, how's everybody going? This is Tokyo Shemp. Yeah, I got my stamps. I got my distraction from the internet. So we need to distract ourselves from internet. One can do that. You get distracted while you're on internet. That's my strategy. That's what I'm trying to help people with. I distract you from what's distracting you. If that makes any sense. We get away from that area to just get away from that area to move to change to get to break off from we know it's tough to put into words, but we know about conditioning, we know about the system, and we know what they're doing. So the game plan heading forward is, I think, do not buy a new computer when you need one. Do not update the computer. Do not go to the Windows 11. Start figuring out how you're going to quit the internet and computer. This is our whole lives at stake. We need to do this. It's simple. All we have to do is move from this one bad spot to a new area where it's good. It's good times. Good time. Is that a theme song I could sing? All right, maybe I won't be singing too much in the future. I don't care anymore. I do that. I don't I have lousy production values here. I can't compete with a studio. I can't compete with real instruments. All I could do was show that I have perfect pitch and to relate it to autism, to someone finding out later in life that they have autism, and also someone who fought the system through internet. I fought it. I I can't think of anyone else out there other than the famous people who did what I did. Famous people being Assange and Snowden, right? I'm not I can't compete with Assange and Snowden for impact. All I can do is what I did, and what I will continue to do in this video. I've downloaded so this person, she claims her name is Jenna Beck. We don't know what these names are. We don't know if they're real or not. That might not be her real name. It probably is, but anyway, she had her door broken in on it was either July 4th, the eve of it, or that I don't know, but it was one of those days. And she was claiming how she'd have to stay up all night, and 'cause the door wasn't secure, it got knocked. They broke the lock. They they didn't break the door, but they broke the door in off of the hinges or whatever. That's It looked like she could still shut the door, but not lock it, but not secure it. Anyway, there's a couple reasons why I'm making this video. Three reasons. One, I wanted to tell people, which I did earlier, that we need to find a way to quit internet and social media. So that means just let the computers run out. Let them run out. Do not buy a new one. Do not care about it. If you participate in a forum, stop doing it. If you participate, stop doing it. Let it all run out. And the other thing, second thing, I wanted to warn the person. I want to warn anyone who is fixated on this agent provocateur named Jenna Beck, who harassed me about a year or two ago. Probably a couple years by now. I don't know. I'm not good at time like that from the autism. But I want to warn those people that it's their job to get people to flip out. They're called agent provocateurs. She probably gets paid money for any arrests made inspired by her activities. So that's the second thing I want to, well, okay, so three things. A general warning to all of us to let the internet run out, to let this thing run out. We now know that everything is just beyond our ability to talk our way out of it, think our way out of it. Let them have it, let the thing rot. So lesson one, three lessons there. Lesson one, let the thing rot. I think that's an ideology forming in Asia by young people giving up. Let the thing rot. Maybe it's a corollary. Sorry, I couldn't trouble getting that word out. To what's the core? Blah. So I lose my train of thought because I couldn't get the word out. Let it rot. Yeah, just give up. Let them. They rot. I can't remember what I was thinking. It doesn't matter. The main thing is to be free. To like we need the individual needs to be the source of activity, of experience, of life. We can't do that on internet. We can't blame ourselves for being stupid. We all fell for it. The internet life. We all fell. We got, and we didn't even fall for it. We were pushed into it. Some of us weren't falling for it, and we weren't into it. But we're like, well, what are we supposed to do? This is it now. We all got forced into it. So now we have to figure out. We have to be the ones to force ourselves off. So them force us into it. We us us need to force ourselves out of it. So let the thing run out. Don't get a new computer. Don't care about it. And so you have to start reading books. You have to figure out. You have to start a stamp collection. You have to find things that are going to occupy your time in healthy ways. I've been able to do that. Somehow I've been able to get a hold of myself, calm myself down. It took a couple years, these last 2 years, and they were trying to mess with me personally, but also with everything else. But they were flapping their arms because a couple years ago I started doing something called qigong shibashi. So I do that, and it's known to be work very well for people with autism. These people are messing. They are mess. See, I understand. When I lived in Ireland, people had sympathy. They didn't condone the violent activities of the IRA, but they could relate to it. They understood it. So the Brits, they effed with Ireland for like hundreds and hundreds of years. So even if someone can't condone violence, they can understand why some people they erupt and get violent because they believe enough is enough. While most of us just aren't violent, and we can't beat up a tank. We know it. And then that guy Max lit himself on fire. Some of us are just never gonna do that. And I don't. It none of most nearly every one of us is not gonna break into a house. We're not gonna even if we hate that person's guts. We're not gonna do that. But I can understand why the person did it. She's not. That's her job. Their job is to make us upset. That guy Poinkinen, if anyone's ever watched him, his job is to upset the viewer. I don't know what type of practical applications they can possibly be getting off of these shows anymore, but they don't stop. Jimmy Dore goes on Joe Rogan the other day. I noticed that. So we have to let it run out. We have to let this go. We have to let them rot. Now, I might continue to make videos and stay online, but for my channel here to make videos such as this, but that's just because I feel an obligation or I feel it's the right thing to do to get this message across to people because I was fortunate enough to study sociology. I was fortunate to live before internet. I do think I was in a special type of life in which, not that I'm special or different, but that I was able to get the full education of reality. I think that's why they went hard after me all these years. I mean, they said I was behind Wienergate. I'm not just talking through my butt here. They went after me, and it's in the record, and it's famous almost that they passed legislation against SWATs, and that was something they set up. They put my name into all that garbage, and it was only because I was exposing the divide and conquer fake news of back in the day between things like Raw Story and Breitbart and Daily Kos before we got herded in, right about before we got herded into the tech companies. I was involved in the forum, the big forum, the major forums. It used to be forums, and it wasn't these tech companies. They were just different COINTELPRO setups. It was still the same system, but it was less centralized. It was less. It was still obvious back then. It wasn't perfect back then, but 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 Clinton. We can't have regrets. We can't uh ask ourselves how could I be so stupid to fall for that? We all got suckered into it. The point isn't to feel shame and to worry about the personal mistakes we each made. So I want to get 3 messages across, and if I can get those across, I've already gone across a couple of them. If I can get the 3 messages across, then I feel this was a good video to make. I will chill out with the singing. I do think this cyber sleuthing stuff is the meat and potatoes of my shtick. I always try to get into a new thing to get across the major messages. So I go into singing because I think, well, if I can't get my message out the way than the regular guy way, then I'll sing, I'll get attention that way, and then that'll bring them to the other stuff. the meat and potatoes, so to speak. All right, so the third message I want to bring across in this video, and then I'll rephrase all 3 points, and that'll wrap up the video. Because then then I put it together. And the third point is going to be concerning the agent provocateur. I've got her video, so I've probably already shown that I'm just sitting in front of the computer on the microphone. So I feel free and sovereign. I'm in my own body, so to speak. I like that phrase, so to speak. I got stamps in, so I don't need a saying. That people with autism, we need special interests, or we go a little nutty. We need that. We need the routine. We need the structure. It helps us, keeps us from getting too nervous or overwhelmed or stuck. These scum turds want everyone stuck. They want to control us and keep us stuck. I know there's some people watching my videos, the ones like this one right here. And I know that to them, they understand completely what I've been trying to do. And it's not my ego, it's not vanity. We're all in this together as free spirits. That was the phrase I remember back in the day, to be a free spirit. That's the meaning of life, to be a free spirit. To do it in a good way, though. So you're like a pure happy Buddhist type. That's the key to it all. My nose is running. Okay, cleared that up. Yeah, I don't edit. I don't script. I don't edit. And I am a good person. I am by talking out loud like this and sharing all this. I am offering like the free friendship to everyone. And I am trying to blame the system rather than think about the individual. Like, the hatred that person must have for Jenna to break in her door. I can relate to the anger. I can't relate to the breaking in the door. Don't do that. You're just gonna end up one of them. You're gonna get arrested, and they're gonna force you to become them. And you'll do it because you're like, well, if I don't become them, it's gonna get really tough for me. That's them thinking that. Don't do it. I relate to the anger. The key is to get rid of that anger. Like, you can think, well, she's the one who creates the anger. Well, no, yes, but you're the one who's angry. You're the one, she creates the problem. You're stuck with the problem. The only way to fix that is to just let it rot rule. Let them rot, which is going to take me to the third point of this video, which is I'm going to share. So I downloaded the video of her where she makes a video like right after her door got crashed in, and you don't see police, but it's like right after, and she's like, yeah, the police were just here, and I'm just having my first cigarette since it all happened, and I mean, they have like a fake chat system. So even though she's every time she talks, her head and eyes are going horizontally. They want the plausible deniability to be like that. It's the chat system. But then, by the way, if then they'll be like, oh, no chat available. Like, if you try to measure up what I'm saying right now, one will often see, chat replay not available. It's really stupid. It makes one wonder, who is anyone even watching these shows? Is it like one of those number stations where there's no apparent reason why that's going on? Like even if that's some type of crypto words, messages, like really that's what that is? It's like, what the hell is going on? It's like, so what's the point? What's the point? And I think most people are starting to see this, whether it's politics, sports, basket weaving. You pick the topic that they're shoving in our. Basket weaving. I pulled that out of my butt, but what's the one? Oh, Caitlin Clark. Yeah, thanks. I was getting tired of the Kardashians, so now thanks. Yeah, thanks, government and overlords. Caitlin Clark, she's a cutie, and she's like Steph Curry of women. She's chucking up foot. She's hitting 45-foot jump 3-pointers at a high clip. Um, right, Biden. I mean, I have a video from 4 years ago saying that Biden's confirmed with dementia 4 years ago. You're welcome. I stole that. You're welcome from people might know where I stole that, but most people won't know where I stole it. So anyway, the people in power, they want to control every word. They want to control every mind. This and that. So let me just wrap up the three points. The third point, I just put it out there so I wouldn't forget, where I have to wrap this up, but this is going to be a special interest. Then I have to edit, I have to put it, not edit, but uh, I run, I try to purify the sound a little bit, and then it does take me quite a bit to um, use that freebie software, 5-minute chunks. And then I have another freebie software that ties it all together. It used to have video. The video editor from Microsoft used to be helpful, but they took that away. They want everyone to put everything that they have, their thoughts, their pictures, their voice, all this stuff. They want us to put it in a cloud. They want us to. Could you put this? They want us to put it. They're like, put that in the cloud. So at the Fusion Center, it really helps us coordinate all the information better. It's like, fuck you. How about fuck you? Seriously. So you have to so based on that, we have to let it rot, because we're going up against the tanks. And even if spreading awareness was the point, the right thing to do, we can't even do that on the internet. They steal everything. It's gaslighting. Everything is gaslighting. So I'm telling you guys, if you want to use this one video of today out of my 1,300 videos, please do, to remember that enough is enough, and it's time to live, really live authentic, with an authentic life and sovereignty. That means quitting the internet. So lesson number one is quit social media, quit internet. Maybe not quit internet. I'm on internet right now. Not really internet, but I will a little bit later. But this is a special interest. I'm talking, and then I edit it, and then it sounds pretty good, and I'm gonna have video running. And I'm trying to put across 3 lessons. I'm trying to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm trying to help anyone who's listening to me right here. I want to inspire and lift you. You're doing the inspiring and lifting, and I'm trying to be like a medium for that. I can't think for you. I can't live for you, and vice versa. That's the elusive awareness that we each seek, that we're all seeking, and we're all human. So we're able to discuss it as pairs in the human group. And there's a powerful group of humans who are controlling us through internet and newspapers and all of that, schools, courts, corporations. We're getting F with to an unprecedented. So lesson number one: quit. Let it rot and find a way to quit. Find healthy ways to experience existence. That should be clear for point number one. Point number two: these people, it's their job to get us mad, to get us to say and do stupid things. So even though I can understand the anger toward that person, that's her job to trigger someone to smash in her door. Don't do it. I don't know how you're going to get away with that to begin with. I doubt you'd get away with it again if you persist. So if the person who smashed into her house, if you listen to my video here, don't do it. Let it go. That's her job to get you to F up, and they'll just coerce you into becoming part of it. And we can say we wouldn't join up with them, but one never knows if you're getting it. One never know. I mean, I'd like to think I would never become an informant. I don't think I could. Not I couldn't at this point. It's one of those things I think we come to terms with when we're younger. Well, maybe even when we're little kids, we look in the mirror and we're like, I'm never gonna sell out. And then we remember that our whole lives. That as a little kid, we were telling ourselves, we were trying to think it through like that. Even though we didn't really have big formed egos or anything like that, and we didn't know why we were born. We don't know how we're alive, things like that. But I do recall that I did make sure to tell myself, and with that inner dialogue stuff, that don't become a sellout. Don't do it. So I've always tried to do the right thing, and people like me, like with that attitude. I mean, not like me, but with that attitude, we were easy pickings for COINTELPRO. Do not do not fall for it. I fell for it. So lesson number two is don't fall for it. They just use us, and they're like a tank. There's no way to. All I could do was All I could do was just poke at them as individuals and get a few of them to quit. Other than that, what did I accomplish? What I accomplished is hidden. It's like it's personal. I got a teacher degree. I know what it's like to remember back in the day. Think of did you have any good teachers? So and I went through that whole system. I know what it's like to only have one or two teachers you can remember who were good, who actually taught, who actually got it done, helped the human move along, to improve, to become more aware. So they're trying to, wi- with that type of sensitivity, those people are fresh meat, raw meat. The Aspie is raw meat to the narcissist. So let it let them let it do not participate, or do not be impulsive. So that's lesson 2. No, understand impulsivity and compulsion. The difference. Try to think of the difference. I try to cough to the side. And the third lesson is the third lesson is I'm just so I downloaded that video and she's crying in it, which helped me conclude that the story is true and that she upset someone to a point where they crashed into her door and she was crying. And I'm just gonna work on that video a little bit and pull. I'll show the door. I'll show the door, and I'll try to cherry pick some spots where she's crying, and then I'll take from the limited video of Dairy Queen Karen, and then one can see that they're the same person. That was Debbie Lusignan on the plane. I mean, there was like fires at a place called Heidelberg. I might have stopped those fires or something. It was the police. It was an auxiliary police group. I had so many scoops. I was really good as a sleuth, and they shut me down. I have no reach. So I figured out I as soon as I figured that out, and I sleuthed it, and it was a specific cop I pointed out who was running the group of and then the leader of the group was like a convict, a felon. And there and I found one, and towards the end of that there might have been another Heidelberg. I looked into that. I shouldn't really go into the Heidelberg thing, but what other scoop did I want to so Debbie Lusignan, I think that's an incredible scoop I came up with. That Debbie Lusignan was on the plane, but they're not gonna. No one's gonna cover that. No one's gonna. No one's gonna let me have the reach. If I was, I was talking about conspiracy theory as the actual major conspiracy. That was in 2007. I've I noticed that right away with the conspiracy topic. And that's why, and I know quite a bit of people know that I was into the chemtrail thing, and I see they passed a law in Tennessee, but I wouldn't fall for any of that stuff because Dennis Kucinich, it just never stops where they they make it seem like we can influence things. Like they want it so bad to look like a democracy when it isn't. That they put in this fake crap like I'm not saying it's fake crap. Maybe it is fake, but it looked like Trump was tweeting Edward Snowden. Now, if that's a hoax, I apologize. If it's a hoax, then it's more of the same. If it's not a hoax, then it's more of the same. Trump, I gave up on Trump as soon as he didn't save Assange. He didn't do anything. He said I love Wikileaks, but then he did. Then he said, "What's Wikileaks? I don't know much about that." It's like f him. Buddies with assassins from Saudi Arabia and garbage like that. So anyway, I was getting into some more of my obscure scoops. Oh, pink shirt pizza guy, the Minnesota thing with the was it George Floyd? What was that guy's name? Was it George Floyd? Sorry if I make any mistakes. Pink Floyd, George Floyd, was that his name? See, I don't care. I used to care, and I fact check, and I worry about every little thing. I may try to be worried about everything to not make any mistakes and this or that. So I found the pink shirt pizza guy, and I start sleuthing it, and it's some of my bigger videos on this channel. It's that thing, and it turned out another one of my scoops that goes nowhere. I tied him easily to an auxiliary police. They're not caught. They're like the informants who are so cool. Like so you see where I'm heading with this. You see why I'm quitting, why I give up, and I tell everyone else to quit and give up, because all they're gonna do is F with us. They don't. The scoops go nowhere. The scoops do nothing. I know they did a little bit. So the people who saw my videos on Pink Shirt Pizza Guy, I know that was great information that I shared. Not that I have a big ego and I'm looking for credit. So lesson number 2 is understand impulsivity versus compulsion. Number 1 lesson, quit internet, do not buy a new one. Do not buy a new computer. Ditch the smartphone. Get off internet. Trust me, do it. Get off internet. Their job is to extract emotion and what we're thinking. So number 2, don't react. Number 1, quit it. Let it rot. Quit it. Number 2, doing number 1 makes number 2 automatic. Number 2, don't react to any of it. Don't go breaking into homes. Not only don't do anything violent or illegal, but don't do what I did back in the day when I was like, I'm going to talk and think I'm going to be a leading activist on the internet. No. And I pretty much ditched that since I got effed with. So I've been pretty much I've changed a lot over the last 10 years. I did break off quite a bit, but only the last couple of years have I really finally healed myself and gotten to this point where I now have the ability to not react. So, and then lesson number 3 is just more of my shtick. Like I'm comparing and contrasting Jenna crying and making facial expressions that show that she was that woman in the Dairy Queen. That's how we get revenge. It's not through breaking through someone's door. It's through truth. So somehow I found this video of Jenna Beck as a criminal in a Dairy Queen, and she's on drugs, hard drugs. Her face was already warped at a young age, which helps identify her. And then so we have to think, we have to be smart, we have to be aware. We don't smash into the door. We we understand that, oh, it's her job to get us to smash her through the door. That's her job. Now, that's her that she doesn't want anyone smashing through her door, and that she wasn't expecting it. That's her disconnect. That's their disconnect. That's the informant getting used, and they don't even realize it. So the informant is the capo, is the victim within is the nasty victim who caves in, loses dignity and integrity to save their skin, their own skin. So instead of this Jenna person just quitting COINTELPRO, working in a convenience store like Tracy Chapman or something, she can't do that. She needs all that money somehow. These people need the money. They can't just they don't understand that dignity is more important. Awareness is more important. She is screwing herself up for millions of years, if not eons. God is going to take her spirit and shove it deep beneath a mountain and suppress it and say, you know what? I don't want that. I don't want that in the human with the other humans. We are not God. We can't break into people's homes. We can't commit violence. We can't. It's pointless anyway. And it's always been pointless. It's always been used against us. But that's lesson 3, because awareness and knowledge is very helpful. Once one sees that those are the two same individuals, then one can understand what she's doing, what her job is, why she works this new job, why we don't know who pays her. It's called signature reduction. So she's getting paid, but it's made to be seen that she's not getting paid. She just makes videos and uploads them. No, if someone had access to her social security information of jobs and payments, income, they would have money transactions. They'd have a company name of something that doesn't even exist. That's what it would be. So they'd and we can't get to that info. Edward Snowden apparently could get to info, and then he leaked it. Assange got into the journalism business, so to speak, and people were sending him leaks. So leave it at that. That's the 3 lessons, with the third one really being a shtick, part of the shtick. And the first 2 lessons are the crux. Number 1, do not buy a new computer. Do not ditch the cell phone. Start reading books or something. Get into stamps. I I can't. We can only think and live for one if we think about it. So number 1, do not buy Start plan. My advice, number one, start planning to quit internet and computer. I think you'll thank me later in life. You'll thank God I heard that guy a long time, decades ago, maybe, where he just spelled it out, the importance of quitting the uh, the nonstop, forever racket scam of computer, internet, social media, medium. F it. Lesson two was don't react to it. So if you take care of lesson one, lesson two doesn't even matter. So if you're stuck, if you can't figure out lesson one, go to lesson two. Maybe it's lesson 1A and lesson 1B. Maybe you have to do one or the other, depending on the individual. And then lesson three, I just wanted to, I downloaded video of the woman's door being smashed in, and she was crying. She couldn't hold it back. And that's actually, I think our face, I think we do have, we look a certain way. And she's older now. That's probably 20 years ago. 20 was that 20 years ago maybe in the Dairy Queen. She claims to be 50. She looked like maybe 35 in that video, in my opinion. So 15 years ago or something. 2009, I'm just guessing. And that's lesson number three, that this person and who acts like an agent provocateur, scripted, in on it, so to speak, that she was freaking out in a Dairy Queen. The manager said she was on meth, and it looked like it. She looked like she had really bad, something weird going on with her teeth and her jaw. And it's the same person. It's so the same person. I didn't understand that when I first found the video close to a year ago. Then about a month or two ago, it kicked in again, and that's why the video kept popping up. I mean, that's why I got back into it, to confirm it. To So then once it's confirmed, I see how this person, like what the how and why of it, of like how did she end up disinfo shell? Why is she a disinfo shell? And then we see that with 100%, no, zero doubts. I mean, I could go into a fourth lesson, but everything is stolen, everything is ripped off. The key is that we have to stop looking outside ourselves for validation, and it's just going to get stolen anyway. The fourth thing, which gets stolen anyway, is I came up with this idea a few days ago. Repetition removes doubt. So repetition doesn't have to create mechanical uh, awareness or mechanical conscious. We don't have to be being repetitive. Doesn't have to be mechanical somehow. People with autism understand. We understand this. We don't mind the repetition. Usually, we eat the same food and stuff, that type of thing. We don't get bored. We don't get easily bored. I don't think so. So that would be lesson number 4 if I still cared, if it wasn't such a rigged, corrupt, unfair, waste of time system. I would say that repetition removes doubt. So the repetition of seeing the Dairy Queen Karen and then watching Jenna Beck, where I put it on mute and I slow down the videos, then I see everything clearly. And I also see that every once in a while I'll check in on some of these people, and I know that I hurt them, and I didn't do it on purpose, but I can see that they're hurting. Whether it's Kim Iverson, Kim, I could see it. I could see it with Frank Analysis. I can see it with Poinkinen. I can see how I hurt Poinkinen's feelings. I do. I see it, and I don't feel bad about that. I really don't. And I don't feel bad about anyone who has tardive dyskinesia. It's like you have to deal with it. You have to deal with the reality, the truthfulness of it. Same with the internet. Same with Eglin Air Force Base and COINTELPRO, the Warren Dixon, the social containment crap. We have to face it. I feel so bad for people with tardive dyskinesia, but I can't hold back from it. I can't hold back from the topic. I'm sorry. So I do think I and those people, that's the people like Katie Halper and Aaron Matei, who I seem to have influenced. I mean, they can't control their faces anymore. I think Shane Stranahan and I think Farron quit. Farron quit because I found all those videos of her acting weird, stealing packages, and that one looks scripted. Everyone thinks that's. Some comments think that's scripted, and it did seem scripted. A lot of those Karen type videos seem fake. Half of them seem real. Debbie Lusignan on the plane, that was real. It really happened. But what we're not getting is that she was paid to do that. It's called being an agent provocateur, and now they're on internet and they were everywhere. And I noticed it way back in the day, and I was getting crapped on back in the day. And that's why they went after me back in the day, because I put it all together right away. I put it all together that there were two forms of people on the conspiracy forums: paid fakes and useful idiots. Because it wasn't on me to figure out who's a paid fake and who's a useful idiot. And chemtrails were proven. All you have to do is look at the closest weather balloon and check that there aren't the conditions for persistent contrails. So I proved that. I proved that a long time ago, and then I saw that it was pointless to continue with that topic. So I got into election fraud, and that became the rest of the story. Brett Kimberlin was into that topic, and it was a big topic that they brought into play, like for internet, like 2004, and then 2008. Because 2000, the internet hadn't really taken off yet. It was about to. So 2004, and then really it was the 2008 where the stuff took off with Kimberlin and I remember it, and the whole conspiracy. 2006, I think. Daily Costs outlawed conspiracy theories. It was either 2006 or 2009, and I remember in 2006, there were a couple stories came out on astroturf and groups. It got proven, and how the Hal Turner story emerged. And Hal Turner's the biggest one because he shows exactly what's going on with media, medium, and military, and that's what all these people are. And even despite them, not even, but despite them being nowhere near as crazy as Hal Turner, they're working for the same company. They're working for the same military group. The military, not a group. It's them. They have been identified, yet the internet's a trap. There's no way there's no way for us to use the internet to think our way out of it and to join forces. The, so that's that. Thanks for your time and consideration. I hope this was worth it to put this video together. I'm gonna just go to Audacity. Wow. It says over 56 minutes. I don't know what it was at when I started. I'm going to hit pause to check that out and be right back. Yes, I started talking at around the 9-second mark, so this is me. This is how I speak. I think I only had one bad cough and I went to the side. For editing, I do no edit. I'm just going to find some blank space to capture the fan and the air conditioner sounds, anything like that, and to noise reduce that throughout it. Hopefully that takes away a hiss. I try to speak directly into the microphone, and I won't use loudness normalization. I'll just use the noise reduction. I've got, it doesn't seem to matter, the input, the recording input. I have that at 0.01, the recording volume. I still sound very loud. I don't really understand technology that much. I do understand sound. I did get my stamps to arrive, and I didn't make them arrive, but they arrived. And I'm done. I think I'm done singing. I just wanted to prove perfect pitch and the autism and to share it. Thank you.